Alright, we're going to create our puzzle cube assembly. As you can see here, I have a finished assembly of a puzzle cube. And if you look, I have all 5 parts in there, and you can see how they go together fairly well. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and figure out how it is that we can make our assembly so that we can have this same design. The first thing I'm going to do in my new assembly file is place a new component. If you right click, you can hit place component, and I'll choose the yellow piece first. Bring the yellow piece into my assembly, and then I can either hit escape or right click and OK, and I'll be finished placing the components. The yellow component comes in this orientation, and so I want to make sure that I go ahead and I establish this orientation for the rest of my assembly as well. The next piece I'll bring in is this green piece to go on top of the yellow piece. To place the component, I'll come to the ribbon this time, select place component, and choose my green piece. I'm going to intentionally place 2 pieces here so that I can show you how to delete one in case you do more than one. As you can see, I have 2 green pieces. They both can be moved around. The yellow piece, however, is not movable, and when I try to, you can see there's a small push pin. If you go to your browser, you'll notice that there's a push pin in the symbol for the part file as well in the yellow piece. This push pin implies that the yellow part has been grounded and cannot be moved. To delete one of the green parts, I'll right-click on it and choose Delete, and it's gone. You'll notice from the browser the green part is also gone as well. The next thing I want to do is distinguish what my orientation for this green part should be. If I look at my previous assembly, I notice that this one part has to come down and this base attaches to the yellow part. To get the orientation similar to the previous one, I'll go ahead and right-click and choose Component and Rotate. And then I'll rotate this component until it's in a similar position to that which is in the assembly. Now that I have a similar position, I'm ready to do constraints. By right-clicking and choosing Constraint, I can establish different constraints for this object. I want to stay with all mates for this, and you can either choose an opposed mate, which is a true mate, where the faces are opposed to one another, in other words face-to-face, or an aligned mate, which is called a flush. In this case, I'll choose a flush. The right face of the green part and the right face of the yellow part are flush to one another. And I'll select OK. You look at the green part, and it looks like it has a freedom of movement. However, if you turn to an orthographic view, you'll notice that the green part is only moving forward and backward and up and down. I need to restrict another degree of freedom. By selecting Constrain from the ribbon this time, I can choose another flush. I can choose to flush the front face of both the green and the yellow parts. Then select OK. Now you'll notice that the green part can move only up and down. It has a degree of freedom, a translational degree of freedom, on the y-axis at this point. To remove that degree of freedom, I need to do a mate between the top of the yellow and the bottom of the green. By placing right-click and Constraint, I can choose a true mate. For my first selection, I'll choose the top of the yellow, and now you'll notice it's asking for my second selection. I want to go to the bottom of the green. I can use my view cube to rotate it up, and after rotating it up, I can now see that face. I select that face, choose OK, return to my home view, and you'll notice the green part now can no longer move. It has been fully constrained to the yellow part.